the SIG 320 stuff, as far as I'm concerned, it's just for fun at this point. And let me explain what I'm talking about. So if you're on social media, you know, different places, Instagram, I'm not on Reddit, but some people send me stuff sometimes. If you're on social media, like in the gun space, you do occasionally see discussions of the SIG 320s. Now, for whatever reason, it's still like that sort of discussion just generates a huge reaction and huge engagement whenever it happens. So, for example, a bunch of people, I mean, a couple dozen, sent me some post from Reddit. It was the same old story. SIG 320, guy had it, was shooting it, the gun, whatever, cooked off. He thinks his assessment is it went off out of battery. Whatever. We've had this discussion before. We've seen the same old story a bunch of times. You see the SIG, the frame in a couple pieces, and typically it's somebody who is like, yeah, I mean, I like the gun, but I was shooting it and then this happened. That's typically the attitude. So, like, one of those situations occurred, and the post apparently went sort of viral on Reddit, and I was like, cool, let's share that up. So put it up on Instagram, and tons of engagement, hundreds of comments, lots of discussion about it. So why is it so interesting? Like, why is this still being talked about? And I mean, I could draw a comparison with that. So for example, if people were talking about how the CZs I shoot, it's like, man, you got to clean behind the extractors. If those things stop extracting after a little while, like you have to do this and that with maintenance. Like, that's true about the gun. Like, yeah, I have to do some maintenance on it, have to take care of it more so than a Glock in order to keep it running. That's just true. But I don't like, people don't like get upset or really fight about that. That's just kind of a reality. And the same as that's true of a CZ in my opinion. So if I'm shooting a SIG 320, it's like, yeah, there's some probability. I don't think it's a big probability, but there's some chance that, yeah, it might just do that, like, go like it blows up and the gun's in a couple pieces. I'm probably not going to get hurt, by the way. I haven't seen anyone get hurt from it. But yeah, there's some probability that might happen. And yet, for whatever reason, like it's unacceptable to a lot of people to consider that they would have a gun that might do that. Whereas, I don't know, like to me, if all of my guns will fuck up eventually, believe me. If not, I'll just keep shooting them, and they will. But I do have to say that like the SIG discussion it's interesting in that it still gets people so riled up. I think there's a lot of people that own SIGs and like them and are happy with them, and they're kind of skeptical of this stuff. And then I also think there's a lot of people that kind of view SIG as like a big company that owns a lot of influencers, and there's pushing varying degrees of sketchy product. And most of the products aren't sketchy. I think most of the SIG stuff is good. But the fact is, they own a lot of influencers, and they seem to be selling just about everything to just about everybody, at least in the U.S. And you just kind of look at that, and you're like, oh, that's kind of, how the hell did that happen? Like, just in the space of a few years, like SIG's selling everything to everybody. I don't know. In any event, it's really interesting for me to just see like how reactive people are to that, when to me it's just kind of a pretty benign fact of the gun. It's like, yeah, that might happen when you shoot it. It might. I don't know. It's like that. To me, that's not that nuts. Like, I shoot guns that might fuck up in various different ways, but whatever. I don't know. We'll keep watching. I want to keep watching the SIG situation and see what happens with it, because I don't know. I feel like there's more to come with it, with how kind of geeked up everybody gets.